Hello, my name is Arthur, and in this video we're going to follow up on the turret animation, the isometric turret animation, and give an idea for what we can do to define the muzzle. Because the animation it doesn't work the same way as a 3D graphic or a top-down animation. So where exactly the muzzle and the turret are isn't really known to Godot. It's just playing an animation. So we kind of have to let Godot know where the muzzle is. So we can do something like spawn a bullet that comes out of the muzzle and play something like a muzzle flash animation. Um, the muzzle flash animation is going to be kind of limited, and more or less for the same reason, because a muzzle flash in this direction, if we want to create a muzzle flash that appears to shoot out of the turret, that's actually a little more complicated when it comes to this type of a graphic. I'm not sure that would be the direction I would go. I'd probably go with a circular muzzle flash that would work in any direction, but not really show the outward sort of flash that would be standard. Now, a lot of my ideas in this project, I would refer people to Kids Can Code Top Down Tank. Um, that's a project that I started on, and when I was following the tutorial, I kind of strayed off of it into different directions. So I went with a box select and kind of the real-time strategy in the direction of Command and Conquer. So now I'm looking at how to get a tank that functions more in the isometric type of scenario. So the turret is a separate part of the tank. Um, there's still some issues I need to work out. Like right now, the tank and the turret are put together correctly. This is the front of the tank, and the turret is pointing in the right direction. In my previous video, when I demonstrated the tank tread moving, might have confused people because the turret was actually on the tank backwards, and it was in the location that it was left when I rendered the animation for the turret. So let's get to the turret muzzle, and this is a fair amount of work to do this, and we'll demonstrate it on the soldier because it needs the same process to be done to define the muzzle point of the soldier when he's pointing in different directions in order to spawn the bullet from the right point. So what I did was I added a position 2D and an animation player, and I gave it a sequence of animations, one for every direction that the turret can point in. So because that animation consisted of 36 frames of 10 degrees rotation, it's a substantial list of animations to be created for the turret, whereas it's 8 animations to create for the soldier's gun. So I've gone through and created all of the animations for the turret because that's far too time consuming for demonstrating. At each different frame, I advance through the frames. So let's advance to frame 4. So the turret's pointing at 40 degrees. Now there may be some math formula to calculate where the muzzle should be, but I don't know what that formula is. It's too complicated a math for me. So I just went through frame by frame, placed the muzzle, and gave the animation the same name as the frame number. And my intention is to play the animation player animation that correlates with the rotation frame number. I'm pretty sure I can just play it with the frame number converted into a string. So when it shoots, it'll play the animation for the animation frame number of the sprite, animated sprite, as I think it would read something like, if I would probably have something like the frame would be the ABS, the absolute value of frame minus angle is less than 20. So it's within 2 frames, 20 degrees of rotation of the target, it would be able to shoot. And then animation player play string frame. And that should convert the frame number into the string number for the animation. I think that should work to play the animations, but I haven't confirmed that yet and don't have that quite functioning yet. But that's how I've taken shape in defining the muzzle for the different points in the animation. I've gone through for all 36 animations, and what sprite frame was that? That's frame 11. So that would be animation 11 to place the muzzle. I've just roughed it out like it's sort of close enough. I'm not doing anything perfect in this process. So if we were to repeat the same process with this character, the animation, because the difference between the turret and the character that actually carries its gun, when his animation is at shoot. So if we did shoot east, we would create the position 2D, call it muzzle. We can take the muzzle location and just use the move tool, and wherever that is, and move it to more or less the front of the gun. And we can key that animation into the shoot animation, because it's only going to happen, this animation's only going to happen when he's shooting at a target. So each time he's shooting at a target, the animation will change to have the muzzle fit at the point that we want it. So that should be in transform. We key in the position of the muzzle, create that key. Now it's part of that animation. So we go through all of the directions, north, grab up that muzzle, put it more or less on the front of the rifle, and that way we can spawn bullets and put a little muzzle flash animation if we're inclined to do that. So I'll go through all of the shoot directions, placing the muzzle into each direction, and key it into these animations. So hopefully that gives an idea for a way to spawn the bullets from the appropriate location on the graphic. And we'll come back in another video and do a little outline of how the characters are made and the direction I'm taking for making them work. So until then, take care.